Welcome to another video from Gweilo 60. China has a huge informal economy, an underground economy, yes, in China, and it's everywhere. If you know how to spot it, it's easy, and I'm going to show you how to spot it. See, this is Jinda Park. This is where Gweilo lives. I'm going to use this Jinda Park as an example because I know everything about this area. You see this little convenience store behind me. This is basically a garage. The informal economy starts up like this. This is just a small one. No license, no registration, no tax documents, nothing. Isn't supposed to be there. How do I know this? Well, because every once in a while the authorities come through and they basically close these places down. And they were through here just a little while ago. They closed it down, but it opened back up again. It's one of those things. But it can be as simple as a farmer in his Wulin van coming in from the countryside, filling up the back of the Wulin van with vegetables or fruit or whatever, and selling that on the street corner in the city out of the back of the van. It's as simple as that. But it can get as deep as buildings that aren't supposed to be there. A lot of the illegal buildings are because of the management of the complexes. These places are built to live in, not for business. And it used to be a lot worse, but because management allows it and probably gets a kickback from it, of course, they're not going to let people build buildings on roofs. They're not going to let people sell through the fences without getting something out of it. So if your management is corrupt, then you have to put up with all of these illegal businesses running around. Is it good or is it bad? Well, it depends on who you ask. For the management, it's probably good because they're getting some extra cash. For example, for the lady that runs a convenience store, it's good for her and it's good for the people in the community here because they just go downstairs if they need salt or sugar, beer, pop, whatever. It's at the convenience store. So she's actually giving a service to the community here. But up until about 4 or 5 months ago, they had restaurant businesses all over in here. You couldn't walk down this street at night. It was out of control. Before the pandemic hit a couple years ago, street vendors were basically eradicated in Nanning. But after the pandemic started, to help people thrive, I guess, make extra cash, they started to allow it in certain areas after certain times and whatever. But in this complex, let me turn around here. This corner here had a couple hundred kids eating soup every night, all night long. They were selling soup in the corner. So as you come in the front gate here, all of this was wide open. There was no gate. So people would just walk in freely. So people would set up businesses in here, and I would imagine they're not setting up in a place like this without paying a fee. And who are they going to pay the fee to? They're going to pay the fee to the management company. And where's the management company going to put that money? I don't know. Maybe we should ask them. Maybe somebody in authority out there watches this video and come see me, and we'll go ask them together. I'm sure I'm not going to make any friends with the management company here, but so be it. If they're doing something wrong, that's the way it is. See, most businesses, well, all businesses that are legal businesses in China have a business license. They pay rent at an established spot, unless you own the building. If they're a restaurant or selling food, they have health inspectors come in and make sure that they're not poisoning people. They pay for their property if they're the owner. If they're not the owner, they rent their property. But, and this is a big but, guys and girls, some management companies allow people to build on roofs and not pay for the property. Who are they paying? I would imagine the management company. If you can see behind me, these stairs going upstairs, That is not a legal spot. Those stairs are not supposed to be there. Who's getting paid? Management. Okay, if you look behind me, here, and on the second floor there, that's somebody's balcony up there. Actually, somebody has a balcony that is behind this new building with all of the, I think they sell glasses up there. And then you can see the stairs going upstairs. That building's not supposed to be there. How do I know? Because I live in one of these places just down over here, and we've got a balcony out front of our place, and if somebody put up something like this in front of my balcony, I would be pissed right off. It's the roof of the building. So they didn't pay for the property. They built the building, but you see a lot of these buildings, when the authorities find out about it, are torn down. This one's been here for a year or two now, so I don't know why the authorities have let this go, because you can't buy a rooftop. And if you build a building on the rooftop, it's an illegal building. They didn't pay for the property. Why are they there? I don't know. Day and night are two different things here on this street also. You can see this grating behind me, and you can see where they've got locks on it. Sort of opens up, and they sell fruit through this in the evening to the people that walk by. Is it a good or a bad thing? Well, I think this is probably a good thing in the evenings because it's employing somebody. It's doing a service to people. But illegal properties being built on top of roofs. No, I don't believe that's a good idea. And the people that build the buildings on top of these roofs, they've got bucks. They can set up their stores anywhere, but they decide to do it illegally and pay somebody off probably to get her done. It used to be back in the day, if the authorities caught you with your little three-wheeler out there selling, say, barbecued yams or fruit or whatever on the street, they would basically take all your fruit, all your yams, they would take your three-wheeler away and you wouldn't get it back. Most of these three-wheelers have no licenses on them. That's one of the big things. It used to be where they would set up little sting operations where they get them all into sort of like a funnel, and then they just take them away one after another, where you can't turn around. I haven't seen that happen in a while, so maybe those days are past. I don't know. About a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years ago, somebody tried setting up a building right beside our place. There's a fire lane right beside our place, and this has happened over the last 14, 15 years a number of times where people have tried to set up businesses there. It's illegal to set up a business there. It's illegal to build a building there, and they always get shut down or torn down. Okay, so about a year and a half ago, these people cruise in with all the building equipment and they build a building there, and we say, you can't do that. And we go to management. Management says, oh yeah, I checked. They have all the right permits. They have this and that and the other thing. Yeah. About a week later, the authority showed up with sledgehammers and tore it down because it wasn't supposed to be there. So I would imagine that if management says they have the right credentials and they're supposed to be there, he's checked it out. The head honcho has checked it out. Who do you think's making money off this shit? Who do you think? I'm probably not going to make any friends with the management company, as I say. But you know what? I really don't care. If these people are doing something bad that they're not supposed to be doing, well, so there you go, eh? That's just the way it is. We're coming up on another street vendor area here. I'm going to show it to you. About 6 months ago, this used to be a building. And if you can see, you even got the floor in here where it started out where they were selling nuts through a grate like this. Then the grate had holes in it, sort of like back here where they're doing the fruit. Then pretty soon it had a roof on it, and then after that it had the floors, and the back was put in. Pretty soon it was a big building, and who do you think? And this is a fire lane. Doesn't look like a fire lane, I know. You can't get in there with a fire truck, but the idea is that this is, well, let's call it green space, where you're not supposed to have any building. But they built a building here. Who do you think was getting paid for this? It wasn't me as an owner of one of the apartments in this complex. So the authorities came around about 6 months ago, and all of these little illegal things stopped dead in their tracks. Stuff like this got torn down. When I was talking about the kids eating soup in the front entrance of our apartment complex, and then putting up gates so people need a little key to get in to the complex, that all stopped. Why? Because the people of the complex had just had enough of the bullshit. And we said, no, you're not going to do this anymore. Who's getting paid for this? Where's the money? Is it going into making the complex better? Is it going into fixing the streets? Is it going into paying the employees more money? Is it, or where's it going? So this stuff just doesn't exist anymore. But as any place in China, and if you've been to China and you've lived here long enough, you know that sooner or later somebody will be selling something out of that spot, and it'll start out small and it'll get bigger and bigger and bigger, and pretty soon somebody will put a roof on it again, and then it'll get torn down again, and that's just the way it is here. One of the big things that I see is the street vendors selling food and cooking food, and anything from sausages, I just wonder what's in the sausages, to barbecued yams, to candies, to fruit, to veggies, to you name it. If it can be sold off a three-wheeler, it's being sold on the streets of China in the evenings, all over China. It doesn't matter where you are. This isn't just in Nanning City or Beihai or Gweilo. It's not just in Chengdu or Guangzhou. It's not just in Beijing or Shanghai or Ulaanbaatar in Xinjiang province. It's everywhere. It's all over the country. I've been all over the country and I see it everywhere. And once you are able to notice it because you've lived here long enough, you just know which ones have licenses and which ones don't. And I'm telling you, there's a lot. There's an underground economy here in China that is frickin' everywhere. The problem with this is that the legitimate business owners, the people that pay rent, the people that pay taxes, the people that have to open up bank accounts, the people that have employees and have to pay their power bill or light bill, all of these different things, they're sort of getting screwed over because people bring their non-legal businesses out front and compete with these people on an evening basis, not a daily basis, because during the day you won't see it, but in the evening you see it a lot. And these legitimate businesses have to compete with the illegitimate businesses. As they have to compete with the illegitimate businesses, it's harder for them to make a go of their business because rents are expensive, employees are expensive, taxes and power and sewer and everything that goes, the gas that goes into cooking the food or whatever, it's all expensive. Setting up the restaurant with chairs, or it's all expenses. And then some guy comes along with a three-wheeler, sets up right out in front of your restaurant, has no overhead, there's no and you have to have the health inspector come in and make sure that all of your stuff is good. Where these guys, they just show up with their three-wheeler, they're selling food to everybody, and it's half price. And how do you compete as a regular business owner with this? Well, you really don't in the evening. So it's just not a fair system. Is it a good thing or is it a bad thing? Well, again, for the person in the three-wheeler cruising up, if he's a poor person, probably a good thing for him or her, doesn't matter, because they're just trying to make a living. For the business owner, it's probably a bad thing because it's competition and it's unfair competition. And one of the things that really frosts me is just downstairs from my apartment, they have turned an apartment into a hotel. Yes, a hotel where the door bangs open and closed all hours of the day or night, 3, 4 in the morning, bang, 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 bang. The complex is for families to live in. It's not for hotels. It's not for restaurants. It's not for courier services. It's not even for convenience stores, even though I really like the lady that runs a convenience store, and that's where I buy all my beer. I would miss her if she was gone. But, you know, with all of the other businesses that they've been able to get rid of in our complex, it just made the place so much nicer, so much quieter. We've noticed it over the last 6 months, that if they got rid of the rest of the businesses and just turned it into a place where people live, I would like that. Because when somebody's setting up a hotel in an apartment, you're paying an apartment rent because they don't own it. They just rent it. So they're renting this apartment, they turn it into a hotel, they get people in there, who knows who. There's basically no security there. And they're running in and out of there all hours of the day and night. Obviously not paying taxes to the government because the government doesn't know there's a hotel there. I'm sure they don't have a hotel license. I'm sure that they don't have a bank account. It's not a limited corporation. It probably has no insurance if somebody gets hurt there. All of these things. So again, if you're a person in authority and you want to talk to me, I know where all these places are. But the idea is that it's not a safe environment if you've got people coming in and going all hours of the day and night. You don't know who they are. I doubt if any apartment complex in the Western world would allow that. Why they allow it here, I have no idea. Probably because nobody's spoken up and stopped it. So hopefully this video gets out to the right people. And boy, I'm a shit disturber today, hey guys. I'm not making any friends, but you know, that's the reality of living in a place. If some people are doing wrong around your home, well, you do what you can to stop that. And that's what I'm doing today. And as always, in good form, there's always beer to be bought on the streets of Nanning City. I love it here. And look at this lazy bum, hey, look at, he just sits there all day long. Huh? Bike fix a guy. He can fix anything with a bike. I bring my bike to him all the time. He's been fixing my bike for 15 years. He's an amazing character. Yeah, as I was saying, before I digressed, you can buy a beer anywhere here in China. You can walk down the street with a beer in your hand anywhere in China. I love my life in Nanning. I really actually do, guys. It's one of those things that I can bitch and complain about things that go on around me. But, you know, these people that are running these illegitimate businesses are just trying to make a living just like everybody else. So I don't think they're doing anything wrong. If the authorities allow them to do it, then I guess it's acceptable in this world, China. It's not up to me to tell people what they can and cannot do. It's not up to me to make the rules in China because I'm just a visitor here. I think a lot of us Westerners lose sight of that when they come to a foreign country and they see things that are going on around you. And, oh, I don't like this and I don't like that. These people drive like crazy animals. Oh, and some of them do. But you get that in the West too. But, some of the food I won't eat. So tofu and fish head soup and stuff like that. No. But we can always find something wrong with everything around us if that's what we're looking for. And I do the same thing sometimes. I'm guilty of it just like everybody else. But because I've been here for so long, I see mostly good in this place. Seriously. I like the lady that sells me beer, even though she's got an illegal shop. I don't like the hotel downstairs because they're noisy. the people that set up the businesses outside and built on the balconies and stuff, they're not in front of my place, so it really has nothing to do with me. So it hasn't hurt me in the least. The street vendors, they may be in competition with the legitimate business owners, but again, it's no skin off my ass. So, you know, if they're obviously putting up with it, so who am I to say it's wrong?